Hi there, I'm the artist known as Mark Bromley. I'm presenting to you with this video the mood page that I created for this project for Adams County in the arena. As you know, I'm Mark Bromley. I'm actually of the same bloodline as Emmett Bromley, one of the founders of Adams County, who helped establish a lot of the regional areas of Colorado back when Colorado was created in 1876, 1877, and into the 1900s. There are a lot of interesting stories that the Bromleys have to tell about this creation of this area, of the agriculture and the creation of the eastern slopes of Colorado. And for that reason, me being a Bromley myself, born here in Denver, Colorado, lived here in Adams County all my life for 54 years, I believe I'm actually one of the best artists that you have for this project that can actually bring a sense of well-rounded wholeness and completion to this project. Now, I did actually add some information here on this mood board, and I'd like to talk about that right now. For instance, at the very top corner, you see a small little logo, I Heart N Northglenn. I show you that because here in the Adams County, ever since I was a kid, I've always had some problems with Adams County and my artwork. There's a history. It started back in the fourth grade. I won an art project with one of my artworks in fourth grade over at the District 12 Schools Art Show. It's a first place ribbon and stuff like that. And I don't know, I got the award for it, but I never got my art piece back. So my first piece of artwork went disappearing in the fourth grade. It wasn't really much. It was actually a deer in the woods, kind of a two-dimensional piece, pretty flat, but it was an actual trophy winner. So that was one of my first experiences. And then later in life, when I was with Huron Junior High School, well, I grew up in a poor family, so I couldn't afford the India ink that I needed for the reproduction means back in the back at that time frame, and and so I lost my first project was stolen by a person named Neil, and that was the yearbook for the Huron Junior High School. It was with a dog on a pole above the a crowd, and basically that was the first one that was actually stolen from me. And I've had a history with the city of Northglenn, and they did just recently in 2023. They stole my I Heart N concept, and at the same time I was promoting my concept, the city of Northglenn created some handbags to sell their stolen imagery from me based on my Heart and Northglenn logo. And so that's an ongoing thing that's currently right now going on. So I thought I add that right now because it's part of the mood of what I'm creating here, just to show you some of this wonderfulness about my mood board here. So I just wanted to share that with you so you can see some of my graphic skills here at, at its most vulnerable, where it actually gets stolen by cities of Northglenn here in Adams County. And they did. They just stole it. And the way they introduced it was at a Ward 4 city meeting that I was at. And well, we had a few words about that. And in this mood board, you see a nice little scenery. That's what I'm creating. It's a little happy thing. Of course, if you're like me, a lot of people grew up with that Bob Ross and his art show and Commander Mark. You remember those kind of shows on PBS? Well, I do. And so I thought I'd create a nice little happy scene on this mood page so you can actually see some of the scenery that as an artist here in Colorado, ever since I was 2 years old, my first project was murals on my walls at home and ceiling and stuff like that. Needless to say, the artwork no longer exists because it got painted over. Um, it wasn't really well received, but that was my first work here. And so, yeah, I've always been doing artwork and it's happy stuff. So I created this uh, scenery based on the scenery of the eastern um, coast here, the Front Range of the plains, the foothills, the mountains of Colorado. Uh, I grew up here doing artwork, went to Northland High School, had a couple of teachers, Miss Peck and Mr. Garrison. Not the Mr. Garrison from South Park. He's not anything like that. But both of them encouraged me to pursue art as a career because I was rather good at it. And they sent me to Western University of Colorado over in Gunnison, Colorado, where I was an actual art major and learned a lot more about uh, artistry and scenic work and things like that. And while I was going to college, I was actually working with a rave company here in Denver, putting on really massive, large shows of murals and creative projects. Sorry, most of the murals don't exist because they were only temporary. They only lasted for about a day or so, and then they had to be taken down. They're all gone because I served in the military and studied overseas, over in Japan. I studied a lot of living artists and art museums over in Japan, so I studied a lot more art there too. That's where my assistant's from. She's from Hiroshima, Japan. She's going to help me out with stained glass works, sculptures, and maybe colored resin castings. And well, we'll see what type of 3D projects you want with this and what two-dimensional works and hanging mobiles that you want. Because I'm famous for mobiles. When I was running around with those rave companies, I had 1,000 neon eyeballs that people collected from the dance floors of several nightclubs from Boulder to Denver and throughout Adams County. And well, I was pretty famous back then for them. And anyways, they're all gone. They all got taken from all these clubs. And anyways, I'd like to do some mobile work for you, some sculptures, which I'm actually good at because I worked in the shipyards. I know a lot of metal work. I know about construction techniques. I know a lot of those things. So this is all good. But back to the mood board here. You see a nice little sunset, the beams of light, and it's kind of like a collage of some photographs, some artwork. You might see the Gunnison artwork in the background there. And then there's this noticeable wing thing. You might see it in the near future. It's part of my new campaign. And anyways, this is the color palette that I created in the center of this mood board. So you can actually see a range of colors I tentatively plan on using. And on that, you will see the letters of AC, which is Adams County and Colorado, uh, Pikes Peak in the middle, Longs Peak, Pikes Peak, well, anyways, a mountain range. And it says Americana of the West. One of the things at Western University I did become part of was actually art history, and there was history of the West, what history of Colorado, which I actually personally did sit on some lectures given by Dwayne Vandenbush, one of the professors of Colorado history, one of the most respected historians for Colorado history here in the state of Colorado. So yes, I actually got lectures from an actual art historian about Americana and the West. So this is very good for Adams County to actually consider me for the art thing because I know a lot of these people that had built Colorado, that founded Adams County. And well, I am a Bromley, so yeah, there you go. And as you can see, here it is, Americana on the West. I was on the A for the Adams County there. Um, what else did I put over here on this side? We can say it says the Eastern Plains. That's what we're looking at. I know this region from the Pacific coast all the way to the Atlantic coast. I've have a lot of family that lives here on the Eastern Plains from Colorado, Kansas, Missouri, into Pitcher, Oklahoma. And so I'm very familiar with the whole entire region around here. And also, you'll see in some of my art. Also, I did a lot of work over in Moab, Utah, uh, in California, in Japan. You'll see a wide range of work that I just wanted to give you an idea about. I didn't give you a concrete idea on the stained glass work or the resin casting, but that'll come later as we're actually working on finalizing the actual uh, elements that you would like to see incorporated in the building that is to be built for the Adams County Fairground. Or is it the fairground? Well, anyways, I know people with the Adams County 4-H area that have been my supporters in the past, and we'll talk more about that once I'm approved for this project. Anyways, you can see that this one of the words I've chosen is cohesive, where everything should be kind of brought in together. And you can see on my mood board, a lot of this is already put together pretty well. The whole scenery is pretty done very well. Historic, well, I know Adams County, and I'm attached to its history. Although here in North Glen, they took away our library and they've kept history out of our reach. I mean, we can learn science fiction and fantasy here in North Glen. That's all great and good, but history is one of those taboo subjects. I think it's because of my family name, and since I was in kindergarten, they've been restricting my access to history here in Adams County. I didn't get most of my history actually came from Western University of Colorado and classes such as well, Dwayne Vandenbush's classes. And that's how that actually happened. And agrarian lifestyle, yes, I know the farms here. I grew up knowing the people associated to Carl's Farm Dairy over in Eastlake. I knew quite a few people in Eastlake, quite a few people in Brighton. I knew a lot of the farms, a lot of the community around here. As you can see, one of the key elements here is the Bromley Farm that is on Bromley Lane down in Brighton, Colorado. You drive down that road, you'll see this farmhouse. You'll see there's the barn back there. Maybe the silo's still there. There's some fields back there. There used to be a Ute TP was built on the site for a while. I don't know if that's still there. But yeah, the Bromley Farm is actually also known by a couple of other names. Japanese families have actually owned the property as well. And you'll understand that Bromley, Emmett Bromley, he did actually know Mother Cabrini. He did create Columbus Day along with Mother Cabrini. So Mother Cabrini and Emmett Bromley did know each other back around 1901, 1902, 1910, somewhere around there, when they created Columbus Day in order to bring to light the oppression that was going on towards the Italian community. And that's why that was created. That's why Mother Cabrini and Emmett Bromley thought it was great to create Columbus Day to bring people out of servitude, out of slavery and stuff like that. Yes, the Bromley name is known to be quite liberal, uh, as well as when the Bromley Koizuma Hishinuma farm took place. That was over the issue of World War II and internment camps that this property became under the Japanese. The Japanese families took over this house instead of going to internment camps. So yeah, if you ever seen one of the Japanese internment camps, it was wrong, it was awful, and it was terrible that American history had anything like internment camps. Because I seen one when I was over in Moab, Utah, off of the little highway there, Devil's Highway, that's what they call it. It gets really hot out there. It's impossible to live there, and a lot of people from California were moved to those kind of internment camps in Utah. It was atrocious. A part of history that is representative by the Bromley Koizuma Hishinuma uh, farm right here is part of Adams County history. My wife is Japanese as well, and so is my art assistant from Hiroshima, Japan. And I also have an art student that's also from Hiroshima, Japan. A little bit more about that, I guess, in the picture. I was trying to tell you about the words. Now, okay, so I put the words family because my family knows about Adams County very well. I'm a legacy to the region. My artwork is living artist of Adams County. I picked up that living artist idea from Japan when I was there because I saw a few museums that were dedicated to Japanese artists who were living artists. One of those living artists that I went to his place at was actually a museum of his artwork. He created the artworks of the Bamiyan statues over in Afghanistan that were blown up by the Taliban. Well, attacked, destroyed, because they didn't want to accept Buddhism as a religion in Afghanistan. The Taliban are a little crazy, they're a little extreme. Um, it's sad that the United States didn't stay there to keep it more more Americanized than what it is now, which is sad. It's sad to see things go wrong in this world, but it happens. And yeah, I saw his museum. He's one of the living artists, and he had these big, huge paintings of the Bamiyan statues. It's basically all that's left of a great pilgrimage site for many Buddhists in our world. Anyways, back onto this. I wanted to put this into a contemporary lens. It's about Colorado. It's about the landscape. It's about the colorful Colorado. That's what it's called, colorful Colorado. Although Utah likes to make fun of us because they created a more colorful sign after we put up the sign, colorful Colorado. Yeah, Utah always wants to be a little bit more colorful, but they're not. They're kind of like when you go out there, it's all red. You'll see a lot of my paintings. It's just a bunch of red rocks. That's all it really actually is. And anyways, the historical side of Adams County. I know the history of Adams County. I lived here for quite a long time. I used to go out to the train tracks that run around in Adams County, and one day, me and my friends found one of those pump cars. It was locked. We tried to hijack it and go up and down the train tracks. That would have been the idea, but they locked it, so we couldn't go anywhere. But we did play on it for a bit, so we did have a little bit of fun imagining that we could take it down the tracks. But yeah, that was a long time ago here in Adams County when it was fields and there was a lot of farmland and there was a lot of resources and cattle ranching going on, and then a dairy, Carl's Farm Dairy. Yeah, I knew in fourth grade, well, third and fourth grade, I knew the a couple of daughters of the founders of the Carl's Farm Dairy. So there you go. And I guess in fourth grade, that was one of my first dates. Uh, don't tell her because I don't think she understood. I think she only understood it that we were getting stickers. Yeah, but it was actually a date, sort of. Okay, but anyways, here we go. We're just going to talk about that. And that's the Bromley Farm. In the background, you see two mountains. These are actually mountains like Tumichi Dome over in Gunnison, Colorado. So this is a watercolor study. There's like four of these paintings. You might see more of them in the pictures that I supply with this when you go looking at the pictures. And when you go down here, you'll also see there's three books. What are these books? Oh, I'm an author. I wrote these books. I did the artwork for the cover of these books, so that's more of my artwork that you can see right there. The book is called Yoranthium. The first book, Lost Hope, the first book is an ebook. I'm trying to create more funds for the Yoranthium book series so I can actually put it into actual print and get more books out there and stuff like that. So yeah, help me out with this art project. You also help me get three books published and in hardback and softback stuff like that. And yeah, that's my artwork um, on the book covers, and that's quite a bit there. I've done a lot of work there. You might actually find some of that on the YouTube. Um, then you'll see there's a little logo there. That's the Trevelyan Hold logo. That's kind of like just some fun stuff for Fun Club um, logo right there. And then there's my initial, ever since I created that back in high school, Northland High School here in Adams County, Mock, Mock Art Studios, MOK. It's kind of runic, and if you knew one of my friends that you might see a picture of, he's a local Wiccan, and he is a book writer too, and he wrote about runes. He did. Runes for Transformation. That's one of my friends. And so there you go. Now you can meet one of my friends. I guess I didn't want to tell you about people I know, but there you go. References. Now, in the background, you also see some tall reeds here. This is actually photographs here in Adams County of a marshland in the background, and that's from a picture. And then you see some flowers. Those are some more flowers. And then you'll see some flowers with a bee on it, multiple renditions of that one bee. These were some pictures that me and my art student went out and actually took. I wanted to show him perspective, focusing on subject, and identifying what makes a better picture, what makes a good picture is trying to identify your subject, your target, what you're really looking at, and how you can try to bring out the most beauty in those pictures. So those are like multiple pictures. You might see that in the pictures that I attached there, and so you can actually see some more of that. And all in all, you can see the sun rays coming out of the picture and The image looks quite nice, quite pretty and pretty indeed. I don't know if that's the actual one. I thought, yeah, there it is. And yeah, you can see the sunlights, the sunbeams coming out, so it's all cohesive. It's all merged together. There's two watercolor paintings. There's like three picture paintings, and there's a fourth picture painting of the Bromley farm, just created for this project alone. And that is basically my mood board. Well, I hope 20 minutes isn't too long talking and chatting about things, but yeah, that seems a little bit long for this video. So yeah, I didn't do a lot of moving around in this video, but I thought I'd explain the mood page a little bit more. And 20 minutes for a simple little mood page like this is very good. These are colors that are all possible. If you can imagine this mood board maybe as a stained glass, this is the type of stained glass work that would be representative in several of the works and pieces, the mobiles, the sculptures, the two-dimensional works for the project. And so I hope this mood page captures your imagination, provides a little bit more identity for Adams County because it's coming from an actual Adams County resident, lifelong resident. Not only that, a legacy, a historical reference note for Adams County, the Eastern Plains, the artwork. You can see I can do a lot of scenery work, so creating scenery, creating some fun, creating a vibrant environment is all the things that I'm representing here in Americana of the West. Yes, I did study a lot of work involving artists like Russell, who are Western artists. I do know a lot of that. I grew up kind of wearing cowboy boots and Western apparel when I was a kid and stuff like that. And well, I'm Mark Bromley, and I do hope that you are seriously considering me for this project because I think I'll be the artist that you need to actually represent all of that, all the goodness that Adams County has to offer. Thank you.